nimble, peaceful, and a bit slimy. These folk from Tugonia formed a symbiotic relationship with the land that they tend. They have a culture that is deeply rooted in peace and nature. It is a life goal for the Kenogi to make the pilgrimage to Harpy's Roost before their physical essence becomes one with the land. They have not let the desire for peace deter them from honing their combat skills. They are capable of moving great speeds, leaping great heights, and harnessing key energy to enhance their attacks. Weapon or not, the Kenogi have turned to rely on themselves to be the weapon if need be. What is cracking, everyone? Elder Cracker here with another showcase of another creature that I made called the Kenogi, the Frog Monk. This is one of my favorite creatures that I have created, and today you're going to see the stats, lore, and additional information that you need if you want to add this creature to your next D&D session or campaign. Let's get right into it. The Kenogi are a humanoid tree frog-like people who inhabit swamps and similar marshlands. They are tenders of that land and are hospitable to those who find themselves oftentimes lost in those swamps. They are a kind people that wish nothing more than for harmony to exist, avoiding conflict when necessary. Now, this does not mean by any sorts that they will resort to keeping the peace if times get tough. Having mastered the way of the monk, the Kenogi are more than capable of defending their homes with harnessed ki energy and utilizing their biological abilities as well to traverse the swamps with ease. Now, since combat isn't preferred, they usually leave the dirty work with their relatives, which are the Gamakenshi. The Gamakenshi, who are renowned toad warriors who co-inhabit the exact same land with the Kenogi. They kind of have like a frog-toad thing going on, where the Kenogi bring a sense of value to what they protect, and the Gamakenshi bring the depths they would go to keep something protected. So I think that's pretty cool. And you know, it's pretty cool if you go watch that video. Now, for inspiration of this creature, I had two very simple things: frog and monk. Simple, effective, but I like it. You just get a frog, get him a ghee, nice orange ghee, and then give him a stick, and yeah, that's peak character design right there. Let's move on to the stats. Now, the Kenogi in terms of stats are agile little fuckers. They're meant to be hard to catch and very high maneuverability. They don't have much strength, but it's okay because they make up for it with a very solid level 1 dexterity of 16. You can see that the level 1 Kenogi is limited to two basic attacks, which is the unarmed strike and a staff strike, as well as their stats. They're not exactly the bulkiest, and again, they're not supposed to be. They're supposed to be a more nimble shinobi-like, while the Gamakenshi are supposed to be the bulkier samurai type. Now, I didn't want the Kenogi to just be a frog version of a monk, so I added some tree frog abilities that you'll see that they unlock as they level up. So for a level 1 Kenogi, they have access to an ability called Adhesive Balance, which allows them to climb vertical surfaces as normal movement. They also have advantage of saving throws that knock them prone or push them down. This fits in with the immersiveness of their creatures because you're usually going to find them in swamps, so it makes sense that they're able to climb and scale trees or other forms of foliage in the swamp. At level 5, we begin to see the Kenogi start to develop those monk traits and also become much better at combat. If we look, they gain 18 dexterity, and they level out that 8 strength to a 10 strength, no longer receiving a negative on skill checks. They keep unarmed strike and staff strike, however with increased damage modifications, and as well as a higher armor class, more initiative, and more movement speed. Now, what's unique to level 5 Kenogi is they unlock Ki Energy, which allows to be used twice a day, giving them access to Flurry of Blows, Patient Defense, and Step of the Wind, which are all D&D 5e skills if you're wanting to search those up to see what they do. And what the Kenogi unlocks at level 5 is the Mist Step Leap. Once per short rest, as a bonus action, leap up to 60 feet in the air. When landed, creatures within 5 feet must succeed a dexterity saving throw of 15 or be knocked prone. Attacks of opportunity have disadvantage when leaping. Now, my inspiration for this was, well, frogs are very renowned for being able to jump pretty well, so I thought making that a aspect of their kit would be pretty cool. Let's move on to the level 10 Kenogi. Now, the level 10 Kenogi is the Elder Kenogi. This guy has mastered the way of the monk and the way of the frog as well. You can see they have 20 dexterity now, and they are now unlocking 4 key attacks a day, and they now have access to evasion. Evasion allows them to, on dexterity saving throws, receive no damage on success. They keep adhesive balance and misstep leap from the previous levels. Key Ripple Palm allows them once every short rest to have one unarmed strike ripple in a 10-foot line through the target. All targets must roll dexterity save of 15 or take 4d6 force damage. So it's supposed to be a punch that can essentially push the energy through one target and behind it. It's a good way of countering tanky creatures that get in front of their weaker creatures. They can punch right through it and damage all of them, which I think is really cool. Again, they keep the simple staff and the unarmed strikes. However, they have high attack modifiers with it. You can see over on the bottom left of the corner that they even have a ranking system. They have warriors, chiefs, and the elder. Again, a level 10 Kenogi in this case would be an elder Kenogi who has mastered those techniques, so keep that in mind for roleplay purposes if you want to add them to your campaign. And yeah, that was the Kenogi. I hope you guys love this creature. This is one of my absolute favorite creatures I've ever created. If you like what you're seeing, like, comment, and subscribe, and all that other good shit, and I'll see you in the next video. Elder Cracker, out.